So here's the box that I use for hanging the biltong in. It's pretty simple, straightforward box. You don't need anything at the bottom. No heating elements, no lights. Size really doesn't matter, it just depends how much biltong you want to make. This one is 12 inches by 12 inches by 19 inches in height. I actually got mine about 10 years ago from South Africa. I modified the technique that they use, and you really need nothing more than a plain simple box. The little things here for hanging the rods in that hold the biltong, that's convenient but not essential. I'll show you how that's done when I actually hang the biltong. Meat ready. So you just lay it out on a cutting board, take a sharp knife, just don't cut yourself, and just start cutting it into strips. And it's up to you how thin or thick you're going to make them. I sort of just vary the size a little bit, different thicknesses, and just as I do it, I just put them in. So I just continue cutting. So I start with 2 of those packets of meat from Costco. It costs about $60 to $70, and I end up with 4 pieces of meat like this that get sliced up and then put into this container. Okay, the next step is now to do the spices. So I just buy my mix made by Crown National. I get it from Africa Hut, and I just Google it and you buy the pre-made spice mix. And for that amount of meat that I use, it's about 150 milligrams of spice. So I just measure it out here. And then I just give it a little bit more taste. I bought some coriander, both whole coriander seeds and then some crushed coriander. These you don't really need, but I just have it, so I just add some. And about 1 tablespoon of each to that mix. This is what the biltong is going to rest in. So it is 1 cup of malt vinegar or brown vinegar or English pub vinegar. So use a full cup of that. Pour it into a glass that's larger than a cup size. And I use Worcester sauce or Worcestershire sauce. 1/4 cup of that. Just pour it in there just so the solution gets all mixed up together. Again, you can play around with other vinegars if you want, wine vinegar, rice vinegar, any vinegar, and I like to add the Worcester sauce. The messy part. I just take the meat, put it back on the cutting board, and I just take a few pieces of it and layer it in the Tupperware. I take some spices, just sprinkle it on top. Turn the meat over. Sprinkle more spices. And just take some of the mixture and pour it in. And just mix all that together. So that the seasonings are picking up some of the liquid, and the liquid holds them against the meat. Holds the seasonings against the meat. And then I put that to the side of the Tupperware. Add more meat. So this is the last stage of prepping the meat. You can see it's all coated in the seasonings. Just mix it up as much as you want. Just get this even distribution of the seasonings over the meat. And just wipe your hands, give me a moment. Take the lid of your Tupperware, and it does help if you have something that seals well. Because even in here I like to shake it up a bit, just to keep the mixing going. And then that goes in the fridge. And I usually leave it in the fridge for about 4 hours. I have seen some people saying leave it for longer, so I'm probably going to give that a try. Now the meat has soaked for up to for 4 hours, or as long as overnight, or a couple of days if you want. So I take each piece and I have these little metal hooks, kind of S-shaped. Hope you can see that. I just take it and I put it through the meat. And then I have these dowel rods that go across the top of the box like that, and I just hang the meat. Try and have the meat not making any contact. A small amount of contact is okay, because as it dries out the meat shrinks, but you don't want the whole piece like that up against the other piece. Just as close as you can get them without actually touching. You'll see as it dries out and shrinks down, that space increases, so it's important to have the air flowing adequately between the pieces of meat. So I'll just keep going and hang all this meat and sequentially putting in different dowel rods and adding to it until this is... Now you have to provide some sort of airflow to dry the biltong. You can't just leave it sitting in the box because it's too moist and you'll get fungus, etc. on it. So the box needs to have some holes in it to provide airflow. You can see there's some holes up here and holes at the bottom, and actually around the other side also. There's also this window where you can look in and see how the biltong is doing, but that's really unnecessary. It just happens to be in this box. Some people take lights and put them at the bottom of the box to create some heat, so you get the air rising. Some have little fans at the bottom just to also drive the air. The problem with that is as the biltong is dripping, it drips on the fan or drips on the lights and messes them up. So what I found, I just take a great big fan like this, which I bought from Costco, probably for maybe Amazon for 20 or 25 bucks. Put it on top, turn it on, have some good airflow going, maximum speed, and just leave it. And we'll be back tomorrow to check it. Going for about 3.5 days now, so I'm going to check it. And you can do it every day just to see how it's going. Just take there's a little piece, there's a slightly bigger piece, looking good. And take a good sharp knife and do some slicing. Probably can't see that, it's nice and dry on the outside, still maybe a little bit red on the inside. Probably going to let it go just another day, just till it's perfect. But if you like it wet, then it's fine. And actually it keeps drying even after you've taken it out and put it in the fridge. So now it's time to cut the biltong. I've got a very nice biltong slicer. Just keep slicing, this saves a lot of time. Wash your fingers, keep going, and enjoy the product of your work.